can't be right. This can't be right. So I tested this and
No, it can't
asked
be
her,
right.
and then especially as I
Glad
said,
you recognize that.
yeah, and so when I said, you all live at this apartment complex, and you all live at this other one, and they said, well, yeah, we have to, we're all coming in to vote, and so I said, well, are you how long have you lived here? Or this is your other precinct here? Well, I've lived here, or I've lived there, and they still were allowed to vote. Many of them were not residents for more than a month. Other people said they were registered in another state, but that they were here. And then, as I said, I think the nail in the coffin for me was when this poor little old homeless man, and I speak Spanish, so I spoke to him and said, how are you here? And he said, I was told to come vote. I want to vote. And I said, okay. Well, where do you live? And he goes, well, I lived in a shelter downtown. Well, downtown is 15 miles from where I live, so
Right.
I'm sure that's not his precinct. He should be voting there.
So you thought there were about 2,000 like this, roughly?
I would say easily, just in the 5 hours that I was
Okay.
there on one specific day, and that was on a Friday, they were going to be counted. They were being collected to be tabulated.
One last question. The gentleman who said he was there to turn Arizona blue.
Yes, that was a guy.
What was he? What was his official position?
He had a sign.
Was he an inspector of some kind?
No, he was a poll observer that was from California. He was from LA, and on a break I walked out there and I said hello and just walking, and he said hi, and I said, what are you doing? And he said, well, I'm a poll observer for the Democratic Party, and I'm here. I said, oh, and he goes, the weather's hot here. It's not as hot as it is at home. And I said, well, where are you from? And he said, I'm from California. And I said, what are you doing here? And he said, well, I'm here specifically to help turn this precinct blue. This is one of our problem ones. And I said, oh, and as I said to the panel over here, I don't know why he felt comfortable telling me that, but he said, I said, you came all the way from LA? He goes, no, actually, I came from another precinct in Maricopa where it was another one that we were focusing on, and now I'm here.
What was he doing? Was he campaigning? Was he encouraging people to vote for Biden? What activities did he take part in to turn Arizona blue?
Well, as I understood, because I was inside working, his job was to make sure that anybody who was turned away to vote, that he would have people he could call, attorneys in his words. He goes, I have a couple attorneys that I'm connected to right now that if anybody's not allowed to vote, I can make sure that they're represented. And so anybody who was not allowed to vote in that polling place, I was the one that they would be talking to. So of course, that was somewhat directed at me, since I'm the one who would say, no, you can't vote. So I don't know what else he was doing, but he said there was a group of them that were coming in.
They sent him there sometime after you began doing that?
He was there, well, we started at 5 o'clock in the morning, just getting ready. So when I went out for a break, it was maybe around 10 o'clock, and he had been there. And I'm sorry, I don't remember what he had on his shirt, but they were very clear that they had T-shirts, they said, that they matched. Another person came in to take over for him, and it was a yellow shirt with something written on the front.
Well, thank you very much for your service and for your courage.
Our colleagues in both the House and Senate to do, exercise our plenary authority under the U.S. Constitution. There is a legal brief out there that says we are not tethered to state statute when it comes to this one question. A simple majority can call the House and Senate back, and in a day can pass a resolution and cause those electors to basically be held. And it is binding. I'll see y'all in court.
Senate.
I'm Sonny Borelli, State Senator. I'm also the Senate Majority Whip, Legislative District
He's the one
5.
that got so mad.
And State Representative Leo Biasucci, also District 5, Mojave La Paz.
They just recalled him.
U.S. Congressman Paul Gosar from Arizona, 4th District.
Representative Mark Fincham from Legislative District 11, serving Pima and Pinal counties. Thank you very much.
And your patriots. And I think we're all grateful for what you guys did here today. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I know that the panel appreciates it as well. Also, a big round of applause for Mayor Giuliani and her legal team and Jenna. You know, I can't imagine what you guys go through, what you've been going through. But when you're fighting for freedom, none of that matters. So I appreciate it. I know everybody else here does too. You know, before this hearing, before Pennsylvania, I think I, like so many other millions of Americans, we knew something was wrong, right? We knew something was off with this election. We didn't know what, but it didn't feel right. And all the people wanted, all they came to me, and I know everybody else up here on this panel and representatives in the crowd, they just wanted us to look into it. They just said, look, we just look into it for us. Something's not right. What's wrong with that? Even if you look into it and there's nothing, at least we looked into it. At least we eased the thoughts and our voters thought that something was wrong, and we gave them some closure. At least we did that. It would be easy for that to be the case. We go along, we move on, but after today's testimony and what some of these great witnesses have said, like the Colonel and others, I mean, I am angry, shocked that this is happening in our country. This is the United States of America. This is not some banana republic. Right? This shouldn't be happening here. And what happens if we do nothing about it? What happens if we just turn a blind eye and say, it's not worth fighting for? That's right. Tear up the Constitution. Why even have laws? Why even vote? It's our duty to fight back. It's our duty to expose the corruption. And I'm telling you right now, I promise you this, and I know everybody up here on this panel, representatives in this crowd, and all of you, we're going to fight. We're going to fight. Because I will not let this country go down. I will not lose the freedoms and the liberties that we've all been fighting for since day one.
Amen. Amen.
And I thank you all for standing up and being patriots. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been absolutely a wonderful experience to be here. I mean, I am so thrilled that we've been able to hear this testimony, to be able to get it out there in a public forum. And I too thank everybody that's been involved, and for the mayor coming and for all those who participated. You know, when I turned 21 to celebrate, I didn't go to a bar. I went and registered to vote. I couldn't wait to vote. When I was born red, white, and blue. I tell you, I come from a family that has the love of freedom in our DNA. And my parents were raised in the Depression and World War II, and that's what I was raised on, is stories about those experiences. And talk about anti-communist. They taught their children, there's 11 in my family, and we were taught to love this country and about our Constitution and about how important it is to stand up and fight for these liberties. You know, yes, this is about President Trump's presidency, but it's even more important than that. This is about, because it's about saving this country, because this is a nation of the people, by the people, and for the people. And if you destroy the electoral system to where our votes now mean nothing because we've got thugs in charge and thinking they can rip the vote away from us, we have destroyed this republic. We are no longer a republic. We are truly on the path of becoming a total socialist, communist, Marxist, all the isms that take away every aspect of our lives and every personal and individual freedom of our lives and control us. We are becoming part of that, and that's been the battle that we have been fighting so hard that I've tried to fight in my political career. And so it is so important that we continue down, not stopping until we expose the corruption that's out there. You know, all through this election, was involved in so many prayer circles and so many people that were praying. I believe so strongly that this country is for moral and virtuous people, and that's the only way we'll save it. That's the only way we can save it. And it is not moral and it's not virtuous to lie and to steal and to take away our precious freedom of voting and being able to have our vote really count. You know, the weekend of President Trump's inauguration in 2017, David Brock, head of Media Matters, put together a conference with over 100 liberal donors to map out how Democrats would kick Donald Trump. Media Matters, along with Crew, Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, produced a big playbook of how they were going to get President Trump, and that impeachment was all the impeachment stuff and all the things he's been through for 4 years was part of that. In their playbook, they say Trump will be defeated either through impeachment or at the ballot box in 2020. Do you doubt them? Did you doubt that they were not going to keep on their path? They told us. It's out there in plain sight that we're under a coup. We are in a revolution.
Oh, gosh. Somebody
There it
finally
is.
said
And we have got to decide which side we're on. Now, I'm ready to go and appoint the electors. But it's not that easy, ladies and gentlemen. But it's not going to be that easy. And I need to talk to you, Ms. Ellis. I had a lot of questions I wanted to ask about this, because I know that it's a federal function, and in a federal function, power comes directly from the U.S. Constitution, and it isn't bound by state rules. So that's what I wanted to, I need to talk to you later about these questions I have
They're enacting
about,
a
because we are bound by
constitutional
some
right to take
state
control of
rules
state.
about how we get into a special session. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. God bless all of us.
But I think the good news here, it's going to go to a lot of people that no one thought they could get to very early. You shotgun the entire level when you include Moderna, and don't even talk about J&J, talk about Moderna and Pfizer. I think that everybody in this country will have the opportunity to be vaccinated by May. I think a lot of people who are in a high-risk category will be able to get vaccinated January, February, March. David, I got to tell you, I think that Warp Speed is being run in a non-political way, in a way we can be proud of, in a way that'll make it so that we are headed toward herd immunity, even if a lot of people decide to opt out.
Even if people decide to opt out. Herd immunity. I mean, look at it. Pfizer's already packaged and ready to go. So is Moderna. They're just waiting for emergency FDA approval for distribution. The product is already packaged and ready to go. And by the way, Johnson & Johnson says its vaccine, expected early January, will be one shot, not two. Pfizer and Moderna are a two-shot deal. You don't have to go back and get a booster shot. Not so with J&J. Johnson & Johnson says they got that covered. One and done. Their stock should be worth twice as much. Yeah, for those that don't like needles, they should be worth twice as much. Yeah. Even if people decide to opt out. Herd immunity. I mean, look at it. Pfizer's already packaged and ready to go. So is Moderna. They're just waiting for emergency FDA approval for distribution. The product is already packaged and ready to go. And by the way, Johnson & Johnson says its vaccine, expected early January, will be one shot, not two. Pfizer and Moderna are a two-shot deal. You don't have to go back and get a booster shot. Not so with J&J. Johnson & Johnson says they got that covered. One and done. Their stock should be worth twice as much. Yeah, for those that don't like needles, they should be worth twice as much. Yeah.